Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Fitness Show brought to you by UFC Gym, Santa Clarita. My name is Ellen Como, your host, and I'm here with Torrance Batenhauer. How are you?
I'm good.
Did I say that right?
Back. Yep.
Yeah, I did it. His name, if you ever saw it, how it's spelled, it's complicated, right? Yes. Yeah. But it's Batenhauer. What a great name. So we're going to talk today about a couple things. The first thing that we're right out of the gate, we're hitting, we're just going right to the heart of the matter today about two things. Getting started on a fitness but also health program, being healthy, and restarting after an injury or an illness.
Yeah.
So, yeah, right? So, fitness needs to be, and health needs to be a whole encompassing way of life. And I also want to talk about that a little bit today too. You could be going to the gym every day, working out for that hour, and then you come home and your habits are poor as far as eating. You're not sleeping. You're not taking care of yourself in other ways. And that 1 hour of exercise is going to be a nice Band-Aid, but it's really not going to be a solution to changing your whole entire life to a healthy and fit life. You need to have all of the elements in place. And that means making sure you're getting plenty of sleep. You want to make sure your nutrition is on point. You also want to make sure that you eliminate or keep things to a minimum like alcohol, because they are going to take you out of your fitness and health realm, emotionally and physically as well. So, all of that put together, let's say you are just listening to the show right now and you're just feeling crappy. You just don't feel good. You don't have energy. You are overweight or struggling with your weight. Maybe you're not. Some people don't struggle with their weight and they're still not exercising, taking care of themselves. But, you just wish that you had a different feeling when you woke up every single morning. You're just tired of feeling tired. You're tired of being sluggish. You're tired of not having your brain being clear. You're tired of looking yourself in the mirror and not seeing what you like and want for yourself. Don't think that can't change today. That's not something that you can't make a different decision about at this moment. By the time we're done with this show, you could even make steps at this point, which is decisions and choices that you make to change your life. So we're going to talk about how do you start? If you've never ever worked out a day in your life, you don't even know where to go when it comes to how to eat right. And then what are some of the other elements that you need to have a healthy lifestyle and feel better? Now, funny thing is, a lot of people would not probably expect my number one thing for living a healthy lifestyle to be what it is. They would think I would say exercise, eat right, make sure you're getting plenty of hydration, and that comes from water, because water is the only place that we hydrate. You don't really get a lot of hydration from iced tea or coffee or any of those things. Those dehydrate you. And then fruit juices are just packed full of sugar. They dehydrate you, and they also put things in your body that are not healthy. Right. And a lot of them also have false colors in them and things and dyes that aren't good for you. So let's just take it all back to just like the basic thing. And one of the things that for some reason this country thinks we don't deserve it, and that would be sleep.
My favorite.
Yes. Sleep is actually the number one thing to having a healthy and fit lifestyle. When you sleep, what happens is your cells rejuvenate when you're sleeping. This is different between men and women, what goes on with sleep. With men can go ahead and have a snack before they go to bed. That's okay for them, because their body is rejuvenating and breaking down food, and they just have we're not made exactly the same way. So you could be breaking down food and rejuvenating the cells that you need to rejuvenate, and you can get away with that. For women, we need to go to bed more on, I wouldn't say starving, but more of an empty stomach, because we need to allow all that energy to go to rejuvenating ourselves, and that could have a lot to do with the way that our hormones are built. So when you're sleeping, that's one thing that happens. When you're getting plenty of sleep, you're better at making decisions. And when you're getting plenty of sleep, you have the energy to carry out through your day when it comes to anything that shows up. So if you're not getting sleep, the first thing that really goes is your decision-making process. You get more emotional. You are unable to be quicker on your feet. Your cells are not rejuvenating. So when they're not rejuvenating, you get into this really bad cycle of you're trying to play catch up, and your body is going into a cycle of unhealth.
Right.
So tonight you can make your first step if you need to get on a healthier lifestyle and get a good night's sleep. And how do we do that? Some people can't sleep. That's a big deal right now. And a lot of it has to do with cell phones.
Yeah.
If you're sleeping with your cell phone next to your pillow, that's actually going to get in the way of having good sleep patterns. So you want to make sure that you don't have that electricity and you have all that going on around you, because it's very, very distracting while you're trying to sleep. So that's one part of it, and getting plenty of sleep. The next, and also if you go to sleep, this has been proven. If you go to sleep at the same time every night and you wake up at the same time every morning, you create a better sleeping habit all the time. So you want to make sure that you're always going to sleep about the same time, you're always waking up about the same time. And I know on the weekends, on Sunday mornings, it's my only day during the week that I can sleep in as late as I want to, so I never put my alarm on, and it never fails. I wake up at the same time anyway.
Yeah.
It just doesn't fail. So you want to make sure that you're following through with that. Also, you never want to go to sleep angry or mad or frustrated. And how do I avoid that? Like, how do I stop that? Because what you do is, if you need to have a journal, you can do it on your computer, you write an email to yourself, get it out. Just get it out, no matter how you have to get it out, without causing havoc to the people around you. Like, don't take it out on someone around you, because that's only going to make you more upset because you hurt someone's feelings. So get on, like, type an email to yourself, text yourself. I've had people write a letter to themselves, journal to themselves. Get it out. Don't go to bed angry, because when you do that, what you do is, while you're sleeping at night, you do allow a lot of negative things to come to you, and they will interrupt your sleep. So that's another thing. You want to make sure that you're peaceful, calm, and that you are in a positive way when you go to sleep at night.
Yep.
So that's another thing that you want to do. So and then for women, make sure you don't eat before you go to sleep. That will break up your sleeping pattern. For men, you can go ahead and have that snack. It's okay, depending on what you're having. You also want to make sure, believe it or not, alcohol, it impedes our sleep.
Okay.
It doesn't help us sleep, which a lot of people think it does. It doesn't. So that's something that you kind of want to stay away from. Now, having magnesium is a really good way of getting a good night's sleep. They have so many different natural things that you can do to help you. And let's say you've tried all the natural stuff and nothing works. You're really, really struggling with it. At that point, I would really go talk to your doctor and find out there's things that are available for you that you can try. They'll say put on the soft music. I love essential oils, so I'll have my essential oils diffusing. There's all these things that you can try to do. But I would really try to master sleeping, because that's going to be your foundation of how you carry on through your day in all ways, but especially with your fitness.
Yeah. I had a question. When we talk about eating before bed, what would you recommend for a man, number one, what snack before bed? And then when would you say is a good, because my wife's asked me that, what's a good cutoff time before she goes to bed on her last meal?
Women should not eat 3 hours before they go to sleep.
3 hours. Okay.
At least. I think for women, they shouldn't really eat after 6.
Okay.
Ultimate would be 5. Yeah, that's honestly, I know. It's very hard. It's a difficult thing to do. But women should eat 3/4 of their calories before dinner.
Mm-hmm.
So if that tells you, it should be a very, very small meal that they're having. I used to call it my taster. So I would feed my family and I'd sit down with them and have my taster.
Okay.
That's what I would do. And I would go to bed not starving, but feeling, I don't want to feel like there's food in my body.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the best way to go to sleep. And then but to make sure, let me add, as soon as you wake up in the morning, you need to eat within an hour of waking up to make this work the right way. For men, a great healthy snack could be some yogurt, fire yogurt with some fruit in it. Something with a protein base.
Okay.
It could be, now if you're trying to gain muscle mass and you're having trouble gaining weight, then, just go ahead and have the peanut butter sandwich, depending on what you're trying to, fried egg sandwiches or that's like a standard for if you're trying to put on bulk and weight and you're having trouble. But keeping to like a yogurt before you go to bed is really good. It has to be something light, and apple is a really good thing. So apple and some peanut butter or almond butter is a good thing.
Okay.
Even sometimes men like having a shake.
Okay.
They'll just kind of put a shake together, whatever their favorite protein powder is.
Sure.
So something just really, really light. And that is, if you're not hungry, don't do it. But if you are a guy and you're struggling and you're starving when you go to bed, then go ahead and do it.
Okay.
It's not a rule for every man to do, but it does. And you want to keep it very protein based.
All right. Very cool.
Yeah, so definitely do it that way. So now you get our sleep kind of on track, right? You're getting a good night's sleep. You're waking up in the morning. You're not if you're not waking up to your alarm, you're probably doing really good. Now I don't know that. At that point, I'll bow down to you because that's amazing, and some people can do that. And if they are doing that, they're very, very healthy, and they're really getting their sleep on track. There goes my voice. Nice crack there. Been doing way too much talking lately. So sleep is number one. Now, number two, to have a healthy lifestyle. I love it. Nutrition, right?
Yeah, huge.
Huge. You could be in there working out 3 hours a day, and then if you go home and you stop at the 3 fast food restaurants on the way home and grab a hamburger at each one, guess what? Yeah. Not healthy. So you want to make sure you get your nutrition on check. You don't want to be, there's the different ways you can go about nutrition, and that's the good news, where you can kind of choose what works for you, for your lifestyle. A lot of people like to do food prep on the weekends. I'm not a big food prep person, never have been. But I'm also living in a fitness world where I can go in and I have access to food whenever I need it. If you're someone that has like a 9 to 6 job, you have to food prep.
Yeah.
Otherwise you're going to be stuck eating in restaurants with whatever's available to you, and you don't have a lot of control over what you're eating.
Yep.
So then food prep really comes into play. And can I tell you, food prep's awesome too, because it does save a lot of money when you do that.
True.
Yeah, eating out's expensive.
Big time.
Yeah, and if it's not expensive, it's because it's something that's not good for you.
Nope, it's usually garbage.
Garbage, and it's not food.
No.
They call it food and they dress it up like food, but it's really not food.
No.
So you want to stay away from that. So, look at how you're eating. You want to make it as clean as possible. What does that mean, as clean as possible? You think about proteins, and 2 different kinds of proteins. The proteins that either come from animals, or the protein that comes from plants. So I'm noticing as I get older, it's not even that I get older, I evolve. And I think social media has a really big impact on this. Seeing all those cute animals, I'm noticing that it's like, I can't eat bacon anymore because I see all these little cute piglets running around and I just can't eat them. So I think a lot of us are kind of being more aware of like how cute these little animals and how smart they are, so we don't want to eat them. But the truth is that we need animal protein to survive. Yeah. So we do. And a lot of people take on the vegetarian lifestyle, and that's fine if it's working for them. So you want to make sure that you have healthy proteins in your nutrition. Now, red meat, it should be done sparingly, like once or twice a week. It's not bad for you. You need to know where it comes from. It doesn't have the hormones in it. You want to make sure that it's coming from a healthy source. And our chicken, I just want to say, when they say free-range chicken, sometimes they don't mean, or cage-free chicken. That doesn't mean free-range. Cage-free chicken just means a bunch of chickens running all over themselves, smashed into a building. And they're on top of each other, sometimes 2 and 3 thick. It's disgusting. So you really want to get free-range chicken. I would probably stick to organic, grass-fed, free-range chicken. That's what you want to look for.
Right.
So stick to healthy proteins. And then for carbs, it's funny, there's a confusion about carbs. Carbs are bad for you. Yes, complex carbs are bad for you. Meaning potato chips, French fries, those kind of things are bad for you. Sugars, cookies, cakes, all that stuff that is bad for you is bad for you. The healthy carbs, for grains, we're going to kind of break it up. There's grains. Grains would be brown rice, quinoa, any of those types of grain. Grains are good for you. You want to have them, but it's like for, again, how much grains are you having?
Right.
So you want to make sure your portions are, for men, I would say about 2/3 of a cup, for women 1/3 of a cup.
Okay.
I know that's a little bit smaller than most, but I think we eat too much on a whole.
Sure.
I do, yeah.
That's our American lifestyle right now.
Overabundance of food, yes. And then fruits and vegetables are carbs.
Yep.
And it's funny, I'll have someone say, yeah, I don't eat carbs. I'm eating my proteins. I'm eating my fruits and vegetables, and they think fruits and vegetables are the proteins. So, yeah, it's just, and they just don't know. We're not taught this stuff. And that's something that kids should actually almost be taught more and more in school, and I think they are, and I hope they are. So fruits and vegetables are carbs as well. And when you can get as crazy as you want how much sugar is in what fruit, or vice versa.
Sure.
What are the more healthy vegetables to eat versus, but for you to start, we're talking about someone starting.
Yeah. It can get overwhelming if you can get lost on just an internet search looking for nutritional guides and advice. I remember going to make a stop at a store, and I called a guy at work who was very dialed in on nutrition, and I asked him if he wanted me to pick him up something while I was there, and he started going on and on about these bars at the store and if they had certain sugar alcohols, and it really wore me out to the point that I told him I wouldn't buy him anything, and I left. But don't do that to yourself.
No.
I think in general we have a broad understanding. Like you said, we know what things we should be avoiding or having in moderation, and what things are more wholesome for us. I think we need to, when we're talking about starting, and you brought up the lifestyle, we need to embrace the idea that this isn't going to be something we're going to do for a short period of time. If we aren't ready to embrace that, we need to at least take the steps. And I think the motivating factor will be how you feel. Anybody who dials in nutrition just for a week, you feel the difference.
Yes, you do. Absolutely you do. And even in one day you'll go back to your ways, and you'll go, oh my gosh, why do I feel so bad, tired, not good? Yeah, and with nutrition and with the fitness lifestyle too, as you grow in your fitness and health, there's going to be certain things that are going to have to go. And they don't have to go when you're starting. And you could be living this fitness lifestyle for 15, 20, 30 years, and all of a sudden you want to take it to a level you've never taken it before.
Sure.
So you go through levels of this, of fitness, but we're talking about just getting started. So if you stick to your fruits and vegetables, your grains, and your proteins, and eggs and egg whites would be considered a protein, part of the poultry family, you're gonna do well. And I love what Torrance said. Stick to the basics. There's so much information on the internet. Find the most basic nutrition program, or if you're at a gym, find out who at that gym has the nutrition knowledge and sit down with them. Listen, and you can even say, I'm starting out. Can you just give me a guideline to follow so I know what I'm supposed to be eating?
Right.
And it's a great place to start. So that's one thing. So nutrition in a starting level. So now we're going to go to exercise. So exercise. When you exercise, people ask me, what is your favorite cardio? Because you're going to need cardio in your exercise program.
No doubt.
And I always say the thing you love the most, because then you'll do it.
Exactly.
And the best way to find out what you love the most is to try different things.
Yep.
Be open. Don't just say, you know what, everyone says that cycling is the way to go, spinning. That's what I'm going to do. You get in there and you're just not even having a great time.
You'll know fast.
Yeah.
If it's for you or not.
But you're like, okay, but everyone says this is what I'm supposed to do, so I'm going to keep doing it. You're probably setting yourself up for some failure. So try a treadmill. Try a treadmill class. And you might go, not for me.
Yeah.
Then try a boxing class. You try different things. Don't and make that how you're going to start. Make that part of starting. Yeah. Like, go in with that open mind of, I am going to look at the times and days you have available and say, I'm going to try this class, and don't make them the same classes.
No. And I would even encourage, try things in different environments. Sometimes jogging on a treadmill is not for you, but jogging outdoors is the thing you needed to stay active and to stay motivated.
Yeah, or like a running group or something, you know, so
Yeah.
you're not running alone.
Yeah,
People love
don't
running
cancel
together.
out the exercise based on the atmosphere.
Yeah, that's a great tip, because that can happen. And don't get intimidated. You know, it's such a hard, it's so hard not to get intimidated, because it feels like such a large, like, oh my gosh, to change my life, I have to change everything. So don't do that. Just kind of change your nutrition and start a little bit of exercise. Maybe I always tell people that have never exercised before, let's just start with 3 days a week.
Yep.
And 'cause a couple of them, it's been 2. So let's just start with a couple days a week and all of a sudden you're going to want more. And then you're going to see it's time to add more on. But we're going to talk about more of this. We got to take a break right here, though. This is Ellen Como on The Fitness Show, brought to you by UFC Gym Santa Clarita. We'll be right back.